wanted to look today at a Marshall amp in the Fractal universe, which is fairly unique and is not in any other modeler. These videos are brought to you by G66 UK, and that's the place in the UK where you can grab an FM9 turbo, an FM3 turbo, or an Axe-Fx III with no wait lists and no import charges. So input here, and let's start off with, I guess, a cab choice that I'm going to make. Let's go Dynacab, but let's make it 4x12, and we'll move the mic sort of over here. Right, so the amp in question, Joe Satriani's signature amp. I've got Joe Satriani's JS1200 here, and we actually have models of the crunch and lead channels. Now, the amp is basically a modified JVM 410, which we also have a bunch of channels from. So those should play nicely with it as well if you're looking for cleans and stuff like that. And essentially the crunch channel is somewhat based on the sort of JCM 800 sound. So apparently our boy Joe Satriani starts with his controls at about 10 o'clock, according to Yek's amp guide on the forum. If you've not checked that out, it's worth checking out. Now, Cliff has actually updated these amp models in the latest firmware for Axe-Fx to be closer to the production models. I think this is based on a prototype. Let's chuck this up to 4 as well. But you get this kind of thing. So that's kind of the orangey part of it, which is like the most classic Marshall-y sounds in there maybe. So the thing about scene 2 is that I'm going to turn this over to the red side, and for this, channel B, this should be a bit more of a modded sort of JCM 800 sound, maybe a bit more hot rodded, a bit more gain. Again, let's just start with everything at 4, as Joe apparently does. So we've already got loads of gain on those sides. And the lead side, I'm going to guess, I need to jump into channel C, is going to be even more of that sort of thing, right? And we'll kind of start with the lead orange. Also, there's 4 channels in the amp, but the lead channel is the same for both. Now, the other thing about the lead channel is, so if we jump into here, I'm going to go over to this one, keep stuff again at about 10. It seems quite a sort of balanced, kind of great Marshall-y tones. If we go into our preamp, we go into tone stack type, we can actually choose the mid-shifted type. So we go JS 410 mid-shift. You see, that basically cleans out some of the mud. So I might do that on each of them actually, because that actually really does sound. It's a bit of a tighter response on that, right? Scene 2. I just think it's got great tones all round, you know, exactly the sort of thing I'm looking for from a Marshall type amplifier. Let's add in some other bits and pieces. So if we go with South Church, maybe, we'll go with high quality. What about a stereo delay as well? Responsive as well. So if you're going for stuff that cleans up, I'd suggest maybe the crunch stuff is a good place to start. And again, I'm not really feeling like you need to necessarily deviate too much from Joe's actual settings. It seems that he's got a good And another thing that might be worth checking out is, so I think part of Joe's sound as well, or part of what, you know, anyone might do with something like this, as I discovered this week on my own channel, putting kind of drive pedals, let's just bypass it in general, DS1 into crunch, can get you a kind of different flavour. And Joe's drive of choice, I believe the Vox Saturator is actually a modded DS1 type thing. So here, Of course, you'll know that a DS1 into a clean amp has quite a spiky sort of sound, but here it kind of works really nicely. So that's kind of some of what you can do just as a starting point with that amplifier. Really, really versatile Marshall tones. I think the JVM 410 was kind of designed to be a bit of an encyclopedia of Marshall tones. And I think, hopefully, Cliff will probably keep both this and... So this is kind of based on a prototype, I believe. And then he's just added on Axe-Fx the one which is closer to the production model. So I think it might be good for people to be able to choose between both. So hopefully that will be the case. But set everything, I guess, to start at around 10 or 4. And... just a lovely clarity to it, cleans up lovely. I'll drop this preset into the folder if you want to check that out. I believe there's also some factory presets that may be of interest if you're into Satriani's playing in general. There are a few bits and pieces. This preset, for instance, would be of interest. There's a surfing with the Alien one as well. Let's just search surf, Alien Surfer. But yeah, get that. Give that amp a whirl, I think, because I think it's got some great tones in it. I'll drop this preset into the Gumroad folder. That's what I was using in the introduction there. I particularly like the way that DS1 sounds into the crunch channel. Just classic kind of Marshall-y tones, I guess. Cheers for stopping by.